Hi, everybody. Welcome to the quick Automox overview for partners. I'm Nick Wolf, channel sales manager here at Automox, and we'll be going through a quick background on Automox's approach to endpoint hardening and vulnerability remediation, also touching on some configurations, some inventory management, anything to do with an endpoint we might have our hands on. Also, look out for other resources in our partner portal. This will be a part of our learning track, and then you should also have some resources linked in that learning track that will help you. If you do not see a resource that you might need as a partner, please reach out to your rep. It might be myself, it might be Brad Bowen, it might be somebody else, and let us know, and we'll work to make sure you have what you need for a successful partnership. So Automox has been around since about 2015. And if you haven't heard of Automox before, we're really known for being 100% cloud native, not cloud-based. You don't need a special VM. You don't need any special on-premise servers or a VPN or anything like that. We are cloud native. So if you have a endpoint and that endpoint has our Automox agent installed on it, and that endpoint also has an internet connection, you will be able to manage that endpoint through Automox. We also operate cross OS. We manage Mac OS, Windows servers, and Windows workstations, and Linux from one platform. We're mostly known for patching, although we can affect just about any change on an endpoint at scale in an automated fashion. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, offsetting some of those configuration processes that you might have through a GPO or some other tool, and then also giving some insight into your inventory and your software within your environment. We do also do some third-party patching natively, and you can build what's called a worklet to essentially handle any action, any patch, any change on a device. So going through our approach to endpoint hardening, we identified a very, very big problem. And that problem is the fact that it takes about 102 days on average for most IT ops security teams to remediate critical vulnerabilities in their environment, when it only takes 7 days for bad actors to weaponize those. That's a huge disparity, and it's not a great standard practice. So we're out to change the way that people think about endpoint management, remediating vulnerabilities, patching, however you want to call it. We're out to make sure it's not that hard. When you look at the struggle of having teams that are struggling with disparate systems for Mac OS, a different system for Windows, maybe servers and workstations, and then Linux is a whole nother ballgame. You also have teams that have the need for special training for some platforms, for some services, or they're stuck waiting for their devices to connect via VPN or be on premise on the same network. You also have the side that IT teams simply don't have a way to easily approve and process known third-party patches at scale. So you have a lot of disparate changes, a lot of things out there that contribute to this 102 days. However, when you have a platform like Automox, it really takes that difficulty away. When you look at the 102 days, that is a product of clunky legacy solutions and approaches, and honestly, preconceived notions that this is a hard process. This is difficult. With a tool like Automox, where you're 100% cloud native, it is not. 90% of Automox customers can harden or do harden their critical vulnerabilities within a day of that being identified. Either that being through our natively supported apps and operating systems, either that being through custom worklets that they've built on their own or they worked with Automox to build together. This is something we are very proud of, and it's something that we are trying to make sure all customers look at this issue for what it is, in a huge opening for bad actors to do bad things. So our agent allows teams to ask any question, really understand what's going on in their environment, view and monitor any state of these endpoints, and understand when and where These patches have occurred when they need to occur, if they're going to happen as part of an automated policy, or if they need to do something in a one-off fashion to really mitigate any chance for a bad actor to do anything bad within their environment. We also allow you to deploy and enforce any software patch or package in your environment. You can make sure that people don't have a program installed in their computer. You can make sure that they do have certain things installed in their computer. You can also drop any files or anything that you might need to silently on the back end without having to interface with the user at all. Very, very useful for things like canary tokens or word templates, or anything that you might need to deliver to your end users. And then you can also take just about any action on your devices, again, whether it be through our natively supported third-party apps and operating systems, or through a custom script in Bash or PowerShell via our worklets functionality, which will be touched on in a different video. This allows security teams to be ahead of the game rather than always reacting to new CVEs or vulnerabilities that they hear about. Sure, you can react to those things. You can react to insights from your EDR tools. However, having a standard practice where this is happening in an automated fashion in a shorter cadence than every month or every quarter or every year, like we've seen sometimes, folks are able to get ahead of this vulnerability patching cycle where it is not something that always needs to be reactive. And again, we can do this all without a VPN or on-premise servers. Devices only need to have the Automox agent installed and then any internet connection from there. And our agent is very lightweight, under 10 megabytes as of our last agent, Agent 30, here in Q4 of 2020. We have 1,500 trusted, or customers are trusting Automox to the tune of 1,500 customers. Whichever way you want to cut it, we work with a variety of different styles of companies and also different verticals, from healthcare to SLED and public sector to MSSPs. Some of you on this video might be some of our MSP partners. We also work with some very notable retail partners. Can you tell what I'm looking at? They might be on my feet. I don't know. But also, we are out again to make sure everyone has the function and has the ability, regardless of the size of their IT ops team, regardless of their proficiency in the security space, to be able to employ Automox to start to chip away at some of this daunting task that some folks call patching. This does not need to be difficult. We've worked with plenty of companies across a number of verticals. And if you have any questions about any direct references or direct case studies that you can use during your sales process or outward to any of your customers, please let us know. There will be some resources in this partner portal, as I mentioned, but we can also work directly for something that you might need. Also, we are very trusted across the awards section. If you look at Capterra to Software Device to GitApp, we take a lot of pride in delivering the service, both from a software perspective and a person-to-person, team-to-team perspective. You know that because you're here as one of our partners, and that is also tried and true with our partners. We want you to be alongside us in this process. We want there to be mutual success, and we want everyone to strive towards having a more secure environment without having to go through the pain of not knowing where things are patched or where things are in your environment. Thus, when we talk to our direct customers, when we look at what are we really trying to get to with Automox, we are enabling companies to do everything that I brought up earlier and putting that into a small one-slide nutshell. We enable folks to spend 3 times less than you will on those disparate legacy systems, than you will on overhead on your on-premise needs or on special training. We allow you to move 30 times faster to make sure that everything is remediated within a viable time frame, and also adapt and change to any condition that you might need. This empowers IT ops teams, security teams to do their job better, to move faster, and to spend less. I hope everyone enjoys this first chapter of our Automox overview. Look out for other helpful resources here on our partner portal, and please do reach out with any questions as you go through your journey with Automox.